For all the Black Americans saying ICE isn't our problem, you do realize that they're kidnapping Black Americans too.
I want y'all to leave us alone. I want y'all to leave Black Americans alone. I want y'all to leave Black women in America alone. We know. We've always known. They did it to us first. They've been doing it to us. And now y'all are just realizing they're doing it to you too. Don't say they're doing it to us too. It's been us too. It was us first. It's always been us. You voted for this. Your family voted for this. And it was all be friends, kumbaya, don't separate people from the party. Y'all mad at Peyton right now for speaking out against creators who are performative as hell. Oh, it's supposed to be Democrat with Democrat, liberal with liberal like they do. He's putting his body on the line. But you want me to put my body on the line? My body has been put on the line enough. Stop asking, can I tell y'all something? Stop asking, can I ask y'all something? Stop asking if I can borrow y'all for a second. We have been borrowed enough in this country. And not giving back in the same condition that y'all borrowed us. It was a girl, got on TikTok crying, they kidnapped my husband. Okay, before I figure out if I feel bad for you or not, who did you vote for? She said, oh, I didn't vote. Click, figure it out. Y'all are going to have to figure this out yourselves. I did my job. Y'all didn't do yours. It was your aunties, your uncles. And I don't hear y'all asking poor white people why they didn't vote in their best interest. Y'all always asking us. It's always us. Leave us alone. We did what we had to do. And now I'm going the way of the big homie. Harriet Tubman, I'll see y'all later. Y'all figure this out. Nobody's coming to save y'all. Nobody ever came to save us. Y'all let them introduce crack into our neighborhoods and run rampant in our society for years. And not until your kid got addicted to Lortabs is it now a problem with the drug companies. And all the other countries need to be quiet too, because y'all don't care. Because if y'all really cared and y'all really wanted to help us and y'all really want to know what was going on, y'all would tell y'all government to put sanctions on us. But y'all don't. You want me to go out and do something. I've done enough. What they're trying to do is separate us from the rest of the world and make the rest of the world hate Americans so that once they are offering asylum, people already hate us. They're going to make it too late for us to leave. But I'm going away to big homie. I'm out. Just stop asking me stupid questions and stop being rude to me for something that you and your people did. Figure it out. Make good choices.
Latinos in the United States have not earned the support of Black people for us to be demanding, oh yeah, why aren't they coming out to protest with us? Why aren't they engaging in activism with us? Because we haven't earned it at all, in the slightest. Or did you guys forget that 46% of all eligible Latino voters voted for Donald Trump in the 2024 presidential election? Or how about the fact that racism, anti-Blackness, colorism, all of these things are still very much pervasive in our communities? Bro, Latinos haven't even reconciled with the fact that they can't use the N-word unless they're also Black themselves, because Afro-Latinos exist. Oh, and if we're talking about Miami, oof, you'll see the whitest MAGA Latinos be like, bro, but I grew up in the hood. I grew up around Black people. In Overtown or in Liberty City, I could say it, bro. No one's going to stop me from saying it. It's my right. I'm not racist. I have a Black friend. We haven't even gotten over that. And we want Black people to go to protest with us, to engage in activism with us, putting their lives, their freedom, their bodies on the line? No. I completely understand any Black person that wants to just disengage, disregard us. I get it, guys. I really, really do. And we, as Latinos, as a collective, should not be harboring resentment against Black people, criticizing them, getting angry at them, questioning them. No. No. Because we've earned this. They are completely justified in feeling the way they feel and doing what they're doing. Now, I would like to give a message to the Black folks watching this video. You are completely justified in your feelings and in doing what you're doing, and I respect it. But please remember that Black folks are also being affected by this persecution of undocumented migrants. And I feel like that's not talked about enough either. Here, Miami, Florida is the best example. Haitians, Jamaicans, Bahamians, Afro-Cubans, Afro-Hondurans, Garifunas, Black people from all over Latin America and all over the world, Africans, just so many Black people that are also undocumented that are really being affected by the persecution of this administration. And of course, much like any other entity in space, Black folks in immigration detention centers, in the immigration system, are treated worse than their white, Latino, Asian counterparts. So it's really important to acknowledge that and just let you guys know. But yeah, Latinos, we need to tighten up. If you guys want the support of the Black community, then earn it. Demonstrate that we can solve these issues of racism in our own communities, and please stop saying the N-word. If you're not Black, don't say the N-word. It's really simple, actually.
Hi guys, let's talk about something heavy but real. You know how sometimes you scroll through social media and see people frustrated, like genuinely mad that Black Americans didn't protest the way they expect. Not marching, not chanting, not performing outrage like on command. And here's the thing. I want to say this. Black Americans do not owe protest to anyone. Not to a politician, not to social media, not to someone. Protesting is choice. Protesting is choice. It's a personal decision, and that's okay. My name is Faith, and if this is your first time here, do me a favor, like, subscribe, and join the conversation. Today, we'll be talking about Latinos' outrage on Black Americans refusing to protest. I have more video clips. Stay tuned, and I'll be right back. Credit to the original creators of this video. Let's chat.
A lot of people got mad at me when I said this is not Black people's fight and that we're on a couch for a reason. And I just want to remind you guys of something. This is a projection of the 2024 presidential election exit polls. And when I say this is not Black people's fight, I say that because 85% of Black people voted for this not to happen. And when you look at all the other races, you can tell that there's a significant amount of votes that could have stopped this from happening. When I said that y'all wasn't out there fighting for us, I'm not talking about the 41% of YT people. I'm not talking about the 52% of Hispanic Latino, the 54% of Asian, the 42% of POCs. I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about the 57% of YT people that voted for this and the 2% of YTs that voted for somebody completely else. I'm talking about the 46% of Hispanic Latino people that voted for this. 46%, that's dang near 1 in every 2 Hispanics who voted for this. I'm talking about the 39% of Asians. That is a significant amount for this projection. This other is POCs, and this is what gets me is that y'all lump Black people and POCs together. No, we are not together. 54% of POCs voted for this. 54%, that is literally 1 in every 2 POC who voted for that. And don't get me wrong, there's not words created to show how bad I feel about everything that's going on right now. And even though I'm saying this is not our fight, I'm still doing everything I can to show the injustices of what's going on right now. But to say that there aren't enough Black people out there protesting right now is absurd to me because we've been fighting, we've been trying to tell you guys about the injustices of what's going on, and you guys are just now seeing it. So yeah, I still stand on what I said, that Black people need to be on the couch and this is not our fight. But let me know what you guys think. I'll see you in the next one.
I'm seeing some misplaced anger from some Latino people coming out saying, oh, Black people, you need to be out there with us, front line, standing with us in solidarity. We did. We stood with y'all in their voting booth. Black people voted in solidarity against that man. I'm not saying this is not our fight. What I am saying, we stood up for y'all when y'all didn't stand up for yourselves. Matter of fact, let me show you something right quick. This is from American Society, Council of Americas, who got their data from the Associated Press, as you can see right here. 42% Latino voters cast a ballot for Donald Trump. Y'all are house divided. Now, to compare, 81% of Black folks voted for Kamala Harris, actively voted against this, what's happening right now. So I'm not saying don't be upset, but maybe direct it towards your own kinfolk, your own skinfolk first, because we stood with y'all in that booth.
My Black brothers and sisters out there that are the ones that are posting all this, oh, we just gonna mind our business. And I saw somebody earlier making t-shirts of like a group of like 6 Black people, Black men and women, sitting on a bench texting on phones while the country is burning up behind them. Let me explain something to you guys. Let me explain something to you. When they get done with the brown people, they'll be coming after you. And if you don't think that's true, you got another motherfucking thing coming. This is bigger than you, okay? Because let me explain another thing to you. You sit back and watch millions of brown people be kidnapped and removed from this country. When they do come after you, there's going to be nobody left to stand up for you. And when they're coming after you, how are you going to feel when people are sitting on the sideline like, oh, we just going to mind our business? Fuck all this other dumb shit. Man, no. It's not the time for that. Power to the people. It's time to come together.
Okay, let's set some context here. In the last presidential election, as at 2024, about 46% of white Americans voted for the president. That's important because a lot of frustration online comes from this same community. People are looking at Blacks and like, why aren't you protesting? And I'm just like thinking, wait, you voted in ways to oppose Black interests, and now you are mad that Black people aren't marching with you? Come on, let's be real. I think here is what some people don't get. Here is what some people don't get. Protesting has always been a risk for Black Americans. And I don't just mean uncomfortable, I mean real risk, like arrest, job loss, being labeled dangerous, violence, emotional trauma that lasts for years. So when someone chooses not to protest, it's not because they don't care. Yes, it's because they are making a personal decision about their safety and mental health. You see, protest is choice, not a duty, not a mandatory thing. Now I get why some people are upset. Protest is how they see change. It's visible, it's loud, it's a proof that action is happening. So when Black Americans don't show up the way they expect, it feels wrong. But here is the problem: that anger is misplaced. It assumes that Black people hold them energy, pain, or performance, and that's not how it works.
Why aren't Americans out on the streets protesting Trump's policies like they do over in Europe? Well, I'll take a shot at answering that. I'm not an expert, but I have opinions on the subject. If you're willing to listen, I'm willing to share. To begin with, I think there's a significant group of Americans who are simply apathetic. They don't care. They're willing to let the next guy handle it. They don't want to stick their necks out. There is yet another group of Americans who are simply so beaten down by the struggle of day-to-day life in this country that they don't have the energy to care. If you're a banker, if you're an attorney, if you're an engineer or an architect, a medical professional, or if you're in one of the specialized trades like electrical or plumbing, you can make a very good life here. But if you're not, there's a good chance you're struggling. And when you come home at night after that second job, all you want to do is collapse on the couch and put your feet up. You don't want to go out marching. I think Americans tend to have a negative perception of protesters, probably stemming from the days of the Vietnam War, when college students were out in the streets clashing violently with police. Americans, despite all the braggadocio and bravado, are a fairly docile bunch of people. They do what they're told. Additionally, there can be negative consequences for protesting in this country. For example, American corporations are incredibly sensitive to how they are perceived in the public eye. If it became known that a group of their employees was out marching in the streets and waving signs, there might be negative consequences. Those employees could face severance. I had a boss one time tell me that he didn't want to see me out marching in gay pride parades. It happens. Additionally, there's the risk of physical harm. It wouldn't surprise me at all to hear that a group of MAGA brown shirts had descended on some protesters and tried to beat them up. And you have to remember that Americans are armed to the teeth. Guns are everywhere. In my state, you can carry a gun in your pocket without a permit or a license. But I think the biggest reason that Americans are not out protesting in the streets about Trump's policies is that they agree with them. I know that sounds incredible, but it's true. This is an aggrieved group of people who do not want the nation sharing its wealth with other countries. They feel like America has been taken advantage of by other countries. They are tired of seeing us give away our money and our resources to other countries. They don't want people from other countries coming over here to take advantage of the benefits and the opportunities that we have. They don't want to share. Back in World War I or World War II, you would have called these people isolationists. They don't want to get involved. They don't care what happens to Ukraine. They don't care what happens to Taiwan. They don't care what happens to Europe. They simply want to keep everything to themselves. In order to understand the American mindset, you have to know something about the way Americans live, because it is dramatically different than the way people in Europe live. In Europe, people read books. They go to museums. They travel. They're exposed to other cultures, other languages, other lifestyles. They're much more cosmopolitan in their perception of how the world exists and how we all get along with each other. Here in the States, it's completely the opposite. If you watched American TV commercials, you would think that we spend our discretionary time out rock climbing or kissing under the stars or roping cattle or doing any number of things that keep us engaged with each other. The fact is, we don't live like that at all. In America, people adore technology, and they have been seduced by media. And by media, I don't mean the news media, I mean the medium itself. Television, movies, the internet, video games. They spend a great deal of their discretionary time consuming media. And the problem with America's fascination with technology and its adoration of media is that it can be very isolating. For instance, in America, you don't have to go to an office building to work anymore. You can work from home. You don't have to go to the grocery store or to the department store to pick up your goods. You can just have them delivered. You don't have to go out to a restaurant to enjoy a meal. Have it delivered to your house. You don't have to go to a movie theater to watch a movie. Just stream it on your computer or your TV. So Americans spend a great deal of time home alone. They are not exposed to a multiplicity of cultures or languages or experiences. They're home alone. And because this technology allows them to do it, they can curate their information sources so that they only hear the information that they want to hear. In other words, their biases are confirmed over and over and over. So in Europe, where you have large groups of people living in close proximity to each other, with a variety of cultures, a variety of languages, and a variety of worldviews, here in the United States, you tend to have people living in silos and echo chambers of confirmation bias. Is it any wonder that Americans live in such extreme conditions? There's no middle ground in this country anymore. You're either extreme left or extreme right. The middle ground has been eliminated by the technology that enables people to be alone all the time. We've basically become a nation of angry sociopaths. And that's why people don't get out and protest, because they agree with Trump is doing. Trump appeals to their confirmation bias. The country is like an open wound, and Trump is quite literally the infection that is exploiting that open wound. So if you were wondering why Americans don't protest, I think that's why.
Black Americans who have been protesting literally forever for their civil rights, for voting rights, for police brutality, for fair wages, for housing justice. And what happens? Some laws changed, but the system often stayed the same. So now, saying I am not marching this time, that's not laziness. That's survival. That's saying I am protecting my peace. I am protecting my family. I'm protecting my energy. And that's real. I want to say this. Choosing not to protest does not mean indifference. It could mean I need to focus on my mental health. I need to protect my family. I need to live without being constantly at risk. Silence can be power. Silence can be self-respect. And sometimes silence says more than just much. I also want to say this. Black Americans are not tools. They are not moral alarm system. They are not obligated to perform outrage for anyone. They are people making choices about their lives, their mental health, their family, their safety. If someone protests, that's their choice. If someone doesn't, that's their choice too. Both deserve respect. So what real allyship looks like? It looks like listening without commanding a reaction, like sharing the risk instead of outsourcing it, supporting in ways that don't expect performance, respecting autonomy, not why aren't you doing more? How can I step up without asking you to bleed again? That's the difference between allyship and entitlement.
Latinos of all backgrounds, do y'all not realize black people are not the only people in this country? You got your Chinese Americans, your Japanese Americans, your Korean Americans, your Indian Americans, your Muslim Americans, your white Americans, and your own people. So why in Davy Jones' locker are y'all so pressed and mad at us because we not out protesting? Folks, we did the most effective protesting last November, and the data proves it. We protested when it mattered the most. We were not out here with whole productions talking about some "we will vote for Donald Trump." Y'all was out here with that foolishness, knowing full well, that y'all had a few abuelas, a few tios, tias, mijo, and mijas in your house undocumented. But y'all got y'all behinds on stage talking about some "we will vote for Donald Trump." And you think we supposed to be out here protesting, picket fence in hand, clowning like some monkeys in a zoo? No, sir, bop. We did what we were supposed to do. And y'all put y'all's own community in the position that it's in now. And y'all need to live with it.
How come none of these Latino celebrities ain't speaking up on what's going on? Wasn't J-Lo viral like last week? She got a big platform and she got nothing to lose. So either or, she ain't losing nothing. She's already washed. And let's not talk about Bad Bunny. That's like y'all version of Michael Jackson. In the Latino community, y'all talk about that dude like a god. And he ain't even saying nothing about what's going on. Bad Bunny. And you know why? Because Bad Bunny Puerto Rican. Just like J-Lo is Puerto Rican. They can't get deported. Don't tell me y'all didn't learn that in school, that Puerto Ricans can't get deported. Just like black Americans. But y'all always out there wanting black people to be your guard dogs. You're always out there wanting black people to be your human shields. And you know what? Your own kind don't even protect you. Jennifer, not J-Lo, Jennifer, the governor of Puerto Rico, right now as we speak, she turning all the information of undocumented immigrants over to the Trump administration. The Mino Black Dominicans, y'all about to pack y'all bags and leave Puerto Rico. But anyway, shout out to Bad Bunny of Puerto Rico. Yeah, that used to be the cut of Puerto Rico.
Let me say this, which is my own thoughts, and I want to hear yours in the comment section. Protesting is a personal decision for Black Americans. It's not mandatory. It's not a moral obligation. If they protest, amazing. If they don't, amazing too. What matters is respect. What matters is understanding. What matters is humanity. And anyone uncomfortable with that should really ask themselves, why do I feel entitled to someone else's struggle? Because I see some Americans protest. Some video clips that I've seen, I saw some American protests, and I feel that's the way it is. Not you coming out online to call out Black Americans for not protesting. No, it's a personal decision. If this video makes you think, please like and subscribe. Join the conversation. Share your thoughts. Credit to all creators in this video. See you in my next video.